Hey guys, it's MusicTechHelpGuy, and today I'm checking out Realphones from dSONIQ. This is a software application that allows you to emulate the acoustics of a control room so that you can mix on headphones. This works as a software plugin that you can add to your master bus, like I'm doing here in Pro Tools. This also works for VST and AU plugins, so you can use this in Logic or pretty much any other DAW, or you can also use this as a system-wide application. I'll just use it as a plugin on my master bus for this video. dSONIQ was also kind enough to give away a free copy of their Realphones Ultimate Pack, which includes the Realphones software, as well as a collection of various different calibrated headphone profiles. So I'll be giving away a free copy of this to one of my subscribers, so stick around to the end of the video to see how you can win. Okay, so the way this works is Realphones recreates the acoustic environment of a recording studio control room in your headphones, so it corrects the frequency response, imaging, and acoustics so that your headphones can work as a reliable monitoring tool for mixing. Now, you don't have to convince me in the comments that there's a big difference between mixing with speakers and mixing with headphones. The two are very different things. I totally get it. But for a lot of people, especially people just getting into music and audio production, buying expensive studio monitors is just not an option. You know, at one point in my life, I was an 18-year-old kid trying to mix in my small apartment with paper-thin walls. So I totally get it. Obviously, I prefer to mix on speakers, but sometimes I'm on the go. Maybe I'm at the airport, maybe I'm traveling, and this is perfect for mixing on the go if I have to mix on headphones. Now, if you're following along with the video and you want to hear how Realphones sounds in headphones, make sure you're wearing headphones when you listen to these examples. Because if you're listening on speakers or, you know, on your phone or whatever, it's not really going to translate. In fact, it'll probably sound worse. So this is what the mix sounds like with Realphones bypassed.
You say you like the ocean, you say you like the breeze. Reach your hand on mine and hold on to me. I'll take you for a ride. On Saturday night, neon lights reflect both your green eyes. Can I kiss you?
Okay, so this is a fully mixed song already, and on my studio monitors, I'm using my Avantone CLA 10s with a sub. That sounds great. The mix sounds great to me. On headphones, as is, doesn't sound so great. And I'm actually, for my headphones, I'm using Austrian Audio X55s, or the high X55s. These have sort of been my daily driver for referencing mixes on. I was a little disappointed to see that they didn't have a profile for these, but they have profiles for virtually everything else, so I'll get into that in just a bit. But listening to this on headphones, it doesn't really translate very well. On headphones, it's a bit too mid-rangey, there's not enough bass, the stereo width is just not there, you just don't hear it. So I find that using this plugin is great for emulating the sound of a control room in headphones. You can properly localize where things are in the mix, also get a proper amount of bass, because if you're hearing too little bass in the mix, you might over accentuate the bass. And here we might think that the mid-range is a bit too present, but it's not. It's actually just fine, so you might try to pull that down. So being able to emulate a real acoustic space is really important for making sure that your mix translates well when it's listened to on other situations, other speakers, other rooms. So let me go ahead and just turn on Realphones here. And I'm just using the default setting right now. And let's see what this sounds like. I'll A/B it a couple times too, just so you can hear what it sounds like before and after.
You say you like the ocean, you say you like the breeze. Reach your hand on mine and hold on to me. I'll take you for a ride. On Saturday night, neon lights reflect both your green eyes. Can I kiss you? Will you kiss me back? Can I love you? Will you love me?
Yeah, much better. I feel more like I'm in an actual control room than I am, with the plugin bypassed. So there's various different presets you can choose for different control rooms, but really the first thing you should be choosing is what type of headphones you're using. So up here on top, there's a generic profile for studio closed, and there's also one for studio open back. I'm going to use the closed headphones, just the generic profile, just because I'm assuming everyone's listening on various different headphones. But they have profiles from all of the big names, AKG, Audio-Technica, Beyerdynamic. And these aren't the only ones. These are just the ones that I loaded in. They actually have what looks like dozens and dozens and dozens of different profiles. So what you do to load in new profiles is you log into your online account, and then you load in whatever profiles you want to use, then open up the plugin, go to your license, and then hit refresh, and it'll load all of those profiles from your account into the plugin. In addition to that, you can choose different room presets. So you can choose different width presets, different amounts of correction as well. Sometimes you may not want 100% correction. So I'm going to do real control room, near field, balanced. Actually, let me do bottom. Let's do bottom, because normally I'm mixing with a sub, so I'm going to use bottom. So we'll load up that preset.
I'll take you for a ride to it on Saturday night. Neon lights reflect both your green eyes. Can I kiss you? Will you kiss me back? Can I love you? Will you love me back? Can I kiss you?
Cool. So you can adjust the amount of overall correction here. You can add presence. You can add speaker pressure. You can even play around with the speaker width. I'll talk more about this in just a bit. You can adjust the type of speakers here, speaker emulations, and you can adjust the tone control here. You can listen to just the mid channel, the side channel, just the left, or just the right. You can listen in mono, swap the left and right channels, or listen with various filters engaged as well. Now, with all these different presets and settings you can customize, you have to be really careful. Remember, the goal here is not to make the mix sound amazing on just one headphone setup. The goal is to make sure that your mix translates well on all systems. Realphones is just a plugin to monitor with. You're not going to bounce your mix with these settings turned on. You want to make sure that you bypass Realphones or just remove the plugin when you bounce your final mix. If you're going to use this plugin, choose settings that work for you and stick with them. Your ear needs to get used to a particular setting as a reference, and you need to mix to that reference. What I've actually done is I've created a profile that sounds almost just like my control room in my home studio. So I'm fortunate enough I have a control room in my house that's been acoustically treated, and I'm already comfortable mixing in that space. So the way you can create a custom space is you can use these snapshots up here, A through E. So each one of these you can save a different custom profile. So I've saved mine to snapshot B, but if you wanted to create a new snapshot, you just tweak the settings, do whatever you want to do with these, and then click on one of these available ones, and then select Take Snapshot. So now I have Snapshot A and Snapshot B. So Snapshot B is my control room in my house with my Aventone CLA 10s, and I'm also using a sub that's turned up just a bit. This is a setup that I'm very comfortable mixing in. So if I were to load up Realphones on my laptop and headphones, if I'm on the go or traveling, I can already start with an environment that I'm comfortable mixing in. And this isn't a process that's quick either. I sat there for about 30 or 40 minutes and I would bypass Realphones, listen to the mix on speakers, turn Realphones back on, listen to the mix on headphones. And I did this with multiple different songs to try to get what I was hearing in my headphones almost the same as what I was hearing in the acoustic space with Realphones turned off. So I think I've got a pretty good approximation here of my mixing room. My speakers are a bit too narrow. You know, they're not quite at an equilateral triangle, so I compensated for that. My room's a bit more boomy, so I've got a subwoofer boost with pretty high speaker response and low end. And I'm using the Moscow Film Studio 1 near field monitors. So again, make sure you have headphones on. Let's give this mix a listen, and I'll go ahead and A/B Realphones so you can hear the before and after.
I'll take you for a ride to it on Saturday night. Neon lights reflect both your green eyes. Can I kiss you? Will you kiss me back? Can I love you? Will you love me back? Can I kiss you? Will you kiss me back? Can I love you? Will you love me back? I'm tired of issues, all this old news. I just can't prove who I am to you.
So that's dSONIQ Realphones. It's a very nifty and nice plugin to have, especially if you're mixing on the go or mixing with headphones, or maybe you don't have a proper acoustically treated space. Remember, you can enter to win a free copy of this. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel, subscribe to dSONIQ's YouTube channel, and leave a comment below and let me know how you would use this in your mix workflow. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.